let us all welcome the... Hi class, are you there with me, colleagues? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this is nothing to do with a lot of accumulation of fact, accepting the fact, absorbing the fact. Rather, it is all about de-stressing yourself and learning some, because we are very skilled people, 3 skilled people, and they have a huge, rich biodata about themselves. But I'm sorry, because of the paucity of time, I just discuss briefly about each one of them, and the rest you'll discover as they disclose their skills through the presentation. So first I introduce Dr. Rima, who's a registered psychotherapist in Ontario, Canada, and a registered psychologist in India. She's a freelancer and she's a senior consultant with mental health services at Nadar University. A recipient of Fulbright Award for counseling, she has more than 27 years of experience of psychotherapy, counseling, and consulting work in schools, colleges, and hospitals. She's a member of the American Psychological Association, the Ontario Association of Mental Health Professionals, and the World Health Organization's Global Clinical Practice, besides other Indian associations. The next speaker, who will actually be the presenter, Ms. Monica, is a professional with over 28 years of experience. She has closely worked with integral departments of healthcare institutions like training, learning, and development, quality and general administration, with team building being her strength. Ms. Monica has been associated with brands like Blue Circle Private Limited, Sketch Solutions Private Limited, Akiso Home Care Private Limited, Max Smart Super Speciality Hospital, and whatnot. So she's also involved with her social work department at Jamia Millia Islamia. The next in the list of these vibrant ladies is Ms. Vinnie Mathur, who has expertise as a craft trainer, workshop consultant, and environmentalist. Currently, she has a dual role of Associate Dean and Head Student Life and Engagement. She has the Sukriti Millennium Award and the Environmentalist Award to her credits. She has also penned down her thoughts in the form of articles and books, and her other interests are seen as contribution to NGOs and as consultants in diverse capacities. She has a close tryst with media, as well as through her contributions through the conduction of various TV shows and the program. So with this, I take off my description, or I take off the slide, and you can load yours. But in the meantime, I welcome all 3 of you, and I feel proud to be associated with you, and that you're taking this session, and participants, believe me, they will inspire you, they'll touch you. Over to all 3 of you, and Monica, Miss Monica.
Thank you so much, Dr. Vinita, for this heartwarming introduction. It's always a pleasure hearing you out. And we are privileged to have Dr. Rima and Monica with us. And we look forward to conducting an action-packed 1.5-hour session with all the participants. And a big hello to all the participants from all over the country. We are looking forward to the session. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Monica Mehra. I'm Vice President in Blue Circle Medi Services Private Limited. We are health partners with Shiv Nadar University. And thank you, Shiv Nadar University faculty, Dr. Vinita, Vinny, and everybody for giving us this opportunity to talking about the dealing with the challenges of change scenario. So like we all know that the scenario around us is changed completely, and pandemic has majorly affected our life, and how this has affected our life, and what all we are going through, and how we assist ourselves in overcoming this is what we are going to be talking about. So change is nothing which is new to us. We are humans. We are the super beings of the Mother Earth planet. So change is unescapable for us. Why? Because when we were born, change started at that time itself. So we are changing since birth. Our environment changed when we were born. From the womb we came out, and the complete environment changed. We adjusted to that, and we adjusted very well in this when we were born. Then the respiratory pattern changes. when a small baby is born, the respiratory pattern of the small child, the infant, changes completely. And since, like I said, we are humans, we adapted and we changed ourselves. The feeding pattern also changed. In mother's womb, we didn't have to make any effort. When we came out, we had to make effort to for us to feed ourselves, and we are till date, making efforts for feeding ourselves. Whenever we are hungry, I know it's going to be lunchtime, so I don't want you to scare you people, or maybe some people must be thinking, कुछ भूख लगी है, कुछ खाने को लाते हैं. So you can do that. Since I can't see you and you guys can see me, this is allowed. So accepting change and challenges is necessary for our survival.
Kindly check your background noise. Participants, I've already told you, kindly cooperate and mute your mic. Okay, Monica, sorry.
Yeah. So accepting changes and challenges is necessary for our survival. Like I said, we are superhuman beings. We are the super people on this planet. Rest of the animal world and birds and other things also, they also go through change, but for us it is necessary for our survival. So what happens when this change comes? When the change comes, there are two things which happen. One could be crisis. Due to crisis, and crisis brings opportunity to us. So pandemic is still there in the country. We all know that. It's not gone. It's still there. So what impact it has brought? Our world is constantly changing and it is unpredictable. There are so many things which are happening. Every day we hear something new coming up, some new study, some new research is going on. In the previous session with Dr. Jain, somebody was asking about inventions and innovations. So inventions and innovations have been happening ever since, we came into this mother earth planet. So since then, inventions and innovations are happening. He spoke about various designs. There are so many designs which are coming in. So what is happening is challenges that we are facing due to change and this unpredictability. We are facing a lot of challenges right now. We are in that phase where something is happening. There is a lot of uncertainties there. We are not sure what is going to happen, how things are going to be improving, whether things are going to improve or not, whether another lockdown is going to come or not, what is happening in other rest of the world. We are all glued on to that. So there is right now lots of uncertainty. So this uncertainty, what is this doing? It is bringing out anxiety in us. So because of the uncertainty, not knowing when it is going to open, when we will be able to go out freely, when we will be able to go back to before corona phase of our life, we are not sure. So this is bringing a lot of anxiety, and because of anxiety, isolation is happening. Some people are working from home, some people are working in the office, but they are not free to take off their mask. They are not free to roam around the way they used to earlier. So there are a lot of restrictions and there is a lot of isolation which is happening at this point of time, which is again bringing out the anxiety and uncertainty in our minds. And because of this, there are family conflicts. So some people are saying that, don't go out. When we go out, step out, people are scared. There are elders in the family. We are scared to go home. Those who are staying alone, they are scared to go home because they're not sure whether, when they reach home, the elders are there. There are parents who are there in the house, whether they are bringing in the virus home, or they might get affected, or they might affect the family members. So there are a lot of conflicts which are going on. Those who are already staying in the family life, parents are not used to staying in the confined environment. Earlier we had our friends, we had our work life, we had our social life, we had our home life. So we were leading various lives, various phases of lives we were leading. Now it is only family. The work has also come home. even the friends and everybody, they are all on computer. You can see people, but you can't, feel them. You can't interact the way we used to interact earlier. So a lot of conflicts are also happening. I'm not saying every family is having a conflict. I'm only saying that there are few families which are going through this phase and conflicts. Of course, we are humans and we are super beings, so we can come up with something innovative or something new to come out of these conflicting situations. So do you know, I think most of you would know that in 20th century, inventions were done due to world wars. 90% of the inventions were done due to world wars. Like in the previous session, Dr. Jain was talking about folding spoons, folding forks, the sharpener, the various designs of sharpener, various designs of toothbrush, clips. All these are new designs. The invention happened long time back, but then the improvisation of those inventions are happening as per the requirement. So when there is either there is a, I'm not saying there's a world war, only then the change is going to happen, but whenever there is a crisis or whenever there is a requirement or whenever we feel, that we are not satisfied with this particular product or we need to do something else. So a new design comes up in our mind and we create it and we present it to the world, and if people like it, it becomes a hit. So these things are evolving. We are still evolving and we will be evolving going forward also. So what all has changed? A lot of people are talking about, I'm not going to work. My work has come home. So people are facing a lot of problems with that. There are too many online meetings. People say that when should I do my work? Actual work is not happening. Everybody wants to have a meeting or the other on Zoom or Microsoft or Google, or there are so many things which I have to download. I have to keep it on my laptop because somebody is going to come up with some meeting or the other. So everybody's days are starting with the sunrise, but an office is also starting at sunrise, but the work is not ending. The office work is not ending. There is no end time to it. Like earlier, we were punching in at 9 o'clock and we were leaving at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, whatever time. So there was a time which was there. This is my work time. This is my exercise time. This is my sleep time. This is my family time. So that is not happening right now. I feel a lot of people say that, I feel burnt out, but I can't talk to anybody because there is a fear of attrition. The jobs are less. The people are cutting down on extras and a lot of attrition is happening. So people are, even if they're feeling burnt out, they're not able to take it out. They're not able to talk about it, which is giving a rise to a lot of other problems, which we are going to talk about it in the coming session. Feeling isolated and disconnected from co-workers. So earlier, we used to take 5 minutes or 7 minutes or 10 minutes a tea break or a cigarette break or a gossip break. Something like used to happen. We used to go with the co-worker desk, talk about some work and simultaneously bitch about somebody or the other, talk about something, some juicy information from here and there. So that people are missing. That's not there anymore. Although those things happen on phone, but that face to face, when you meet with each other, the expressions, the facial expressions and all those things, that feeling is not coming in. So work life has overpowered for personal life. So, whenever somebody wants to work, they say, now I'm going to start working. And then work starts, meeting starts. So personal life and work life balance is getting haywire. We are at home also, but we are not spending time with the family. So there is a feeling of missing out, FOMO. FOMO is something which this generation talks about, which is fear of missing out, something which is happening outside. I'm sitting and working over here, so I'm missing out on the fun which family is having. So how to tackle these adversities? There are so many things which are happening, and we are still trying to adjust, and we are still trying to grapple or find our way how to come out with these adversities. So how to tackle these adversities? I'll tell you a story. Maya is a girl, young girl, and she's a very negative kind of a person. So what happens is Maya tells her father that I'm not enjoying life, you know. Father says, why? She says, father, I have a problem because I solve one problem, the next one comes up. I solve the next, the third one comes up. So I'm not very happy. And the whole day what I'm doing is I'm solving problems one after the other. So the father says, looks at her and he says, okay, so let's do one thing. Let's play a game. You go and bring a potato, which is called aloo, an egg, and some tea leaves. So the father says, you go bring these three things. So the girl goes and brings three things. Then he says, now you bring 3 vessels of water. So she brings 3 vessels of water. So he puts all these 3 things, potato, egg, and leaves, into boiling water. So then he asks Maya, what do you see? Maya says, oh, I see a boiled egg, a boiled potato, and some tea. Father explains to her that, okay, you've seen a boiled egg, boiled potato, and tea. So what does that mean? So he says, we could create something new with a unique, even when we are experiencing adversities. All these 3 things were put in the same environment. A boiled egg, which was very fragile, which was very delicate, was put into boiled water. It became hard. A hard, rock solid potato, when it was put into the boiling water, it became soft. A boiled potato is soft. And when those leaves, fragile leaves, they were put into boiling water, they came out with a refreshing cup of tea, which we can enjoy. So your response and your reaction will depict your state of mind. You have to decide, what are you? Are you a potato, an egg, or a tea leaf? So whatever you are, the environment is going to be the same for everybody. Pandemic is there for everybody. It's not for Monica, it's not for Dr. Rima or Vinny, Mathur. It's there for all of us. Now we need to think that how we are, our reaction and our response is going to depict our state of mind, and how we can adjust or how we can accommodate or acclimatize ourselves to this particular environment which life has thrown it to us. The problem is common to all, but the attitude to solve the problem makes all the difference. Even when things happen, like I'll tell you another fact which is there, which most of you must be knowing also. All birds find shelter during rain, but eagle is the one avoids rain by flying above the cloud. So eagle doesn't want to get wet. So it has found its own methodology of not getting wet. So it will say, I'll fly above the cloud. It can fly high. So it has found its own way. So eagle is a bird. We are humans. We are superhumans. We are better beings than them. We can also find our own new normal, and we can also find our new way of adjusting and changing ourselves to the existing environment. So what is the solution? You will see. The solution could be that we could be searching outside. What is the solution through this pandemic? We could be going out. If you could let me go out, I'll be happy. If you let me do that, I'll be happy. But why don't we see that whatever the happiness, the peace of mind, or whatever we are looking at outside, maybe those things are available inside. Think about these things. We have to find these solutions ourselves, and those solutions are lying within us, because we are the ones who are creating problems, and we are the ones who are solving problems. How, you will say? So what is more important? You will ask me, what is more important? I'm asking you this question. What is more important for you? It's me who's more important. But which I? What kind of I? Only if I am stable, if I am happy, the world around me will be peaceful. It's all in my hands. If I want to be sad, I can the whole day look at the mirror and say, I'm sad, I'm sad, I'm sad, and I will be sad. I'm depressed, I'm depressed, I'm depressed, I'll be depressed. But the moment I look at myself, get dressed, look at myself in the mirror, and I say, I'm happy and I'm beautiful. The world around me is beautiful. It's all good. Believe me or not, things are slowly, gradually going to change. The environment around us is going to change. Think about it. Try it out. Every day, get up in the morning, get dressed, wear your beautiful clothes which you used to wear in the office, and look at yourself in the mirror and say, I'm the best. Today, I am going to do every task as per my list, and whatever is not possible, I'm going to put it on next list, and I'm going to tell people that, I can't do everything today. I'm going to stagger my work, make adjustments, make things, prioritize things, and work it out. Believe me. How you can do it? Researchers say that you can do this. Researchers, like I was saying, look at yourself in the mirror and smile and say that, you're happy. Why? Because there is a research which says that babies smile 400 times a day, and adolescents 17 times a day, and an adult comparatively hardly. How many times do you look at yourself in the mirror and smile? How many times do you smile at a stranger? How many times do you, like right now I'm looking at a computer and smiling, and I'm sure I'm 100%, some of you, maybe 4 or 5 of you must be looking at me in the mirror, in the computer, and having a smile on their face, either thinking that I'm stupid or thinking that, what is she talking about? I already know this, something or the other, whatever thought is going in your mind. But I am 100% sure there is a smile on some of your faces who are actually engrossed and looking at this particular presentation. Some of you must be smiling. Pardon?
Yes, ma'am, we are.
I knew it. Even if I can't see you, I can feel the smile.
So why don't you switch on your video and show that you're smiling? That is being participative. Yes. Come on, some of you switch on your videos. I mean, this session should not go with video off. If possible, switch on your videos, please. I'll really appreciate. It does not matter where we are sitting, how we are the way we are. Can some of you switch on your videos, please? I mean, we all are not students. We are faculties, grown-up people. Yes, please. Yes, but I can't see. Yes, can you see Dr. Rima, Miss Rima, Vinny? Can you see somebody? No.
Is it visible? Hello?
We are there and we're all smiling.
Okay.
With 32 teeth out. So it's good to see all of you also with your cameras on. It's a very good suggestion. And a beautiful quote which comes in my mind is smile a while, and while you smile, another smiles. So, when you just see another person smiling, it automatically comes to your thing as well,
Absolutely. When you look at a baby smiling, automatically a smile comes on your face. So why not look at yourself and think that, my face is also as beautiful as a baby's face is. So look at yourself and smile. You're beautiful. Trust me. Look at yourself from your parents' eyes. Look at yourself from the one you love or your loved one's eyes. You are beautiful, and when you smile, there's very less amount of effort which the face has to make. But when you frown or you're sad, lot of efforts on your face and your body has to do. This is a scientifically proven. I don't know the complete details which you can Google and find out, but this is a hardcore fact that when you are sad, when you're depressed, or you frown, lot of effort goes into it. But when you smile effortlessly. Trust me.
Somebody writes, they agree to you.
So
100% true.
looking at these babies sleeping, this is the time to change again. So when we were born, we changed. Now this pandemic has come, and since ever since we were born, we are changing. We need to look at the sunny side or the winter side, what we want to be, where we want to be. The choice is completely yours. Trust me, it is yours. If you want to change your environment, you can choose what kind of environment you want around yourself. Your attitude will change. If you do that, your thinking process will change, your behavior will change, your response to the situation will change. If somebody says something to you, instead of getting depressed or saying, oh, that person said this to me, I should be angry, or I should be depressed, or I should be doing that, or I should be doing this, your response is say, whatever, that is his thought, not mine. My thoughts are my own. I can control them. I can't control other people's thoughts. So why should I bother? What is important for me, I need to think on that line. So I need to change according what suits me. I need to change my environment. I need to change my attitude or my thinking process, my behavior, as per what happens to me, which brings me to peaceful, which brings me happy. The negative energy and the positive energy both are there. So it's for you to choose whether you want to be forgiving, whether you want to make complaints, whether you want to love people, or you want to be jealous, you want to be confused. The change from negative to positive energy is completely your choice. Trust me, if you absolutely give it 100%, you can do it. It is the power of your personality, the power of your behavior to the situation, the power within you, your mind is very, 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 very powerful. You can do this. You can do wonders. Open your mind. Change your thinking. Start taking small challenges and pain. We are all faculty members, and we are all faculty members. There are all PhD students and everybody. When something was introduced to you, remember, go back to your school days. The first day when you went in, there was a scare. Went into the school, there was some scare. There was uncertainty. There was all those feelings that how am I going to adjust? What is going to happen? But remember the day when you passed out from the same school after 12th. Your smile, your confidence, your personality completely changed, because you took small challenges, small steps. You opened the door for yourself. And if you open this, it will start opening all the doors for you. The first door you have to open. The first effort you have to make. The first step you have to take. The things are going to change as per plan, as per the environment. Some people must have heard this Shah Rukh Khan ka dialogue. अगर आप कुछ बदलना चाहते हैं तो पूरी कायनात आपको उसमें लग जाती है उस चीज को पाने में. अगर आप कुछ पाना चाहते हो, कुछ लेना चाहते हो इस environment से, all you have to do is just give it your 100%. The complete environment, पूरी कायनात आपको उस चीज को पाने में आपकी मदद करेगी.
Yeah, this is also from The Alchemist, Monica, if I'm not mistaken. It is a famous core summary of the book Alchemist by Paulo.
Yes. So look inside and think. Who are you? Life challenges are not supposed to paralyze you. They are supposed to help you discover who you are. The first step is that who am I? Am I a sad person? Am I a happy person? Am I a person who's going to overcome challenges? Am I a person who's willing for changes in life? Am I a person who's going to sit in this room, confine myself to the room and not step out because there is pandemic going on? Or I'm going to take all the precautions and get on with my life. It is for me to decide the new normal which is there. How am I going to accept it? I'm not going to get depressed. I'm not going to get scared. I'm going to take precautions. I'm going to take all the steps which is prescribed by the researchers, the doctors, the people who have already worked on it. They are giving us the information. We have to discover this and be well read and go about it. Look inside and think that whether I can do it or not. It's only you who can change yourself. It's you who can change your environment. Discover your strengths. Your brain is very, very powerful. Believe me, if you want something and you want to get it, if you want something and you think you want to achieve that particular thing, best thing is just take a pen down, fold it, put it in the cupboard and lock the cupboard and start working on it. You, after a while, open it up and you'll definitely see that it's already done. Make a SWOT analysis after that. Think, be realistic. Don't go for the moon, that I want to get into the rocket and go to the moon. There are a lot of preparations which have to happen if you want to go to the moon. So start with small achievements. Start with low-lying fruits which are there. Be realistic. Be motivated and confident, because you have your own unmatched ability. You are unique. There is only one Monica Mehra, which my parents created. There is nobody else. No, there must be lots of Monica Mehras on this earth, on this planet, but my parents created only one Monica Mehra. So I am a unique person. I am a unique individual. So nobody can replace me. People can copy me. People can take my work. People can, do what I'm doing. But I am unique. If you think like that, if you start thinking like that, I'm 100% sure that's the first step of your change. You will achieve something, at least. At least do that today and pen down. This is what I want to achieve in next 30 days or 60 days or whatever time you feel is comfortable for you, as per your capabilities, as per your SWOT analysis. But be realistic. Put it down, pen it down and put it in the cupboard and lock the cupboard and forget about it, that this is what. And then start making a to-do plan. Start doing things as per whatever you want to achieve as per that. So we think of success, but we don't plan it. This is the problem we humans have. Oh, one more year has passed. Like for me, myself, I can talk about that. I've been thinking of for so many years, I want to thin down and I want to lose weight. I'm 100% sure most of you must be smiling and saying that, even I'm thinking of that sort. So a thin person thinks that, I want to gain weight. Like I've very few people, and Vinny is one of them, who wants to gain weight. And I was looking at her and I was quite surprised. She wants to gain weight, and here I am since past so many years, I want to lose weight. But what I am lacking is, I'm lacking planning. When good food comes in front of me, I look at myself and I say, forget the diet, Monica. Just enjoy it today. This is life. Today I have it in my hand. I don't know about tomorrow. So I want to enjoy this meal. Let me have it. So that's how every year is passing by and my weight is not going down. I don't know about you guys, but this is my story. So make a plan and set your goals. How to make a plan? You all know. You must have heard about SMART goals. How to make it smart. It should be measurable, attainable, relevant, time bound. I don't have to tell you. This is all available, and you guys are much more intelligent than what I am. You can make SMART goals. You can make measurable goals. You can attain them yourself if you want. If you take the first step today, you can do that. So how you can do it? By self-realizing that it is me who's going to help myself. I have to change. I want to change. I want to change my world. I want to change my surroundings. I am unique and I can do that. So I have to make a promise to myself that, Monica, I want to change. I want to look thin. So what should I do? I should exercise my body and my mind. So both I have to exercise. योगा से होगा, योगा से होगा, कैसे होगा? योगा करना भी पड़ेगा और माइंड को स्ट्रॉन्ग करना पड़ेगा by doing some various techniques, meditation, which Dr. Rima is going to, an expert, she's going to talk about it. And there are other mind games which I'm going to play. Chess is one of the games where Sudoku is one of the games. There are so many games which are exercise for your brain. Then relaxation techniques, Dr. Rima is going to talk about. What I do to relax myself is take a deep breath, take a cup of tea, and sit in my chair and just forget about whatever is happening outside. Relax and enjoy with soft music. Meditation is there. I will have to take charge of my body and my mind. I have to do that. So I have to sleep well. Yog Nidra is something which I recently heard on some YouTube channel which I was surfing through. It looks very impressive. I don't know, I've not tried it, but again, Dr. Rima will be a better person to talk about it. So time management is what you have to do. Trust me, if you promise yourself that I want to do it and I want to attain this, you can take out time for yourself. I'll give you another short story. It's called Butterfly Story. So what happened was, the butterfly, in the cocoon, there was a small gap, and the butterfly was trying to come out of that gap. So what happened, a boy saw and he took the knife and cut the cocoon. He made that cut into a bigger cut so that the butterfly could come out easily. So boy was like, he didn't know that, what is happening, if that is happening. So whether the bird is going to be fine or not, the butterfly is going to be fine or not. So it made a cut and butterfly came out. But the butterfly's body was weak. Its wings were not barely moving, were not able to make that flight which normally butterflies do. So the boy was confused, and he kept watching. He sat there and kept watching the butterfly. So he thought that, what have I done? He was not sure. He was confused that why it is not flying. So actually what happened is that this boy had no idea that the efforts which come for the butterfly to come out of the cocoon is necessary for the butterfly, so that life-giving fluids from the cocoon is there to nurture the wings, and the effort the force by which the butterfly tries to comes out strengthens the wings, and it gives extra energy and development. It develops and it grows the butterfly, and butterfly is able to come out and fly off on its own. That struggle getting out from the cocoon is very, very important for the butterfly, because the cocoon is designed in that particular manner that when the butterfly comes out on its own, that effort will strengthen it and the butterfly will be able to do things on its own. So change is unescapable. This pandemic has moved us, made us realize life can become a lot simpler if we allow it. What has happened is, life is a mind game. If your mind is weak, the situation becomes a problem. When the mind is balanced, situation becomes a challenge. But when mind is strong, situation becomes an opportunity. So we have to think that what we want to do. We want to have a weak mind, we have to have a balanced mind, or we want to have a strong mind. You spend zero time on what you could have done up till now, and devote all the time and energy on what you will do from now onwards. going forward, what are you going to do and how you're going to do this. So this pandemic is something which has given us a opportunity to change from before Corona to after Corona. Before Corona, life was different. After Corona, the life is different. So we have to change and find our new normal. It's not what is going to work for Monica Mehra is not going to work for Dr. Rima or Dr. Jain or Dr. Vinita or Vinny. So Vinny has to find her own path. Monica has to find her own new normal. Vinny has to find her own. Dr. Rima has to find her own. Everybody is to themselves. Even the government has done that. Government is opening everything and saying you have to protect yourself and you have to protect others. So even they are not putting things on you, restrictions on you. Now all the restrictions, they are taking it off. You are intelligent enough to think about that these are the changes which are there and I have to do that. The success will be yours if you think that I have to change, because you have decided to change your attitude, because you have decided to change your thinking, because you have decided to change your behavior, your response to the problems which are coming in front of you. Now you will achieve your goals and your dreams because now you are a changed person. So think about it, and thank you so much. There are any questions or anything, we can discuss it in the later part. I would like to request Dr. Rima to take over from here.
Thank you. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah, welcome, Dr. Rima.
Thank you, ma'am. So, warm welcome to all who are present here, and I thank the organizers for having us over to this program, because no professional development, I think, is complete when until we sort of work on ourselves. So when we talk about professional development, I think personal development is part of it. So thanks for having us over and paying attention to something as important as stress or mental health. As a mental health professional, I feel very passionate about my work, and where I was asked to do some slides on managing stress, I felt that it is important that when I'm talking to faculty of various renowned universities, the professors who knowingly, unknowingly, various ways are touching lives of youth today must be aware, must recognize and be mindful of what it requires to be a mental health ally. Because why it's so important, I'll be talking about it soon. But before we start with the presentation, I would like all of you to give it a minute and think about your own present stress level. So let's see, let's say in the scale of 1 to 10, wait ma'am, I don't want this slide now. Hello, can we go to the back slide? Thank you. So between 1 to 10, if 1 means you're absolutely balanced, comfortable, joyful state of mind, and 10 means that you're always rushed, or there is a lot of irritability, the feeling of fatigue, burnout, and various other things on your mind, both personal and professional. So 10 is extremely stressed out, and 1 is when you are calm and balanced. Can you take a moment and give in your own mind the number where you see yourself now? Take a minute. If you want to share, you can write that number. Otherwise, just take a minute. Wow, 2 is beautiful. Wow, I really need to meet you, Dr. Meenu and Dr. Kishore, because I am yet to find people, or probably because I'm a mental health professional, so the other extreme comes to me. But 1, 2, 3 are excellent. So if this is what you're doing, you don't need me. फिर तो हम time pass कर रहे हैं, because you're already doing fantastic. Okay, so all right. So what we can all just give it a moment and think of that number in our mind. And now I'm sure all of you have thought of that number. Now let's just, wherever we are, whether on the bed or on a chair, wherever we are sitting, just close your eyes gently, straighten up your back and your head, so your entire backbone and head is aligned. Relax your body, just let loose and focus on your breath. Take a deep, comfortable, relaxed breath and exhale. Just be mindful the air that you're breathing in through your nostrils, esophagus, lungs, nourishes each cell of your body, and you exhale. One more time. And exhale. Thank you. You can open your eyes and just in your mind, if you see where whichever number you gave yourself a minute ago, and just after doing 2 or 3 breaths, do you see your number has changed even from, even 1 digit or 2 digits? Just a few yes and no would help me and we can move on. So just what we did was a minute's exercise of being aware and coming into, focusing on our own breath. Thanks for 2 yeses. So we are 58 plus people, what I see. Anyways, so thanks, ma'am. Please, let's move to the next slide. Next slide, please. Thank you. So I would like all of you to quickly scan through. Can we go back? Monica, ma'am, please, can we go back?
Slide number 3.
Yeah, this one. No, this is fine. Thank you. So kindly just look at it quickly and see how many yeses do you have for yourself. You feel tired, fatigued, disrupted sleep patterns? Is there increased pulse or blood pressures, often? Shallow or rapid respirations, muscular tension, appetite, constipation, dry mouth, you can read it yourself quickly, excessive perspiration, nausea, libido, decreased and nail biting, increased use of alcohol or any other substance that we use, irritability, and so on. So out of 18, just see how many you have yes to, right? And I would suggest that if it is more than 6 or around 6, yes, you are stressed. More than 6, yes, of course, we need to think about, So we need to think about the need for extra care for myself. So how do we go about and do that care? We'll take it one at a time. So next, please, ma'am. So there are 3 questions that I have. First, do you explain away stress as temporary? Now this is very common. Like, हाँ यार, stress तो होता ही है. What big deal? I mean, everybody is stressed out. There's so many things, and that's what you tell yourself. That's the story you're telling your mind. Next one, and let me have the complete slide. Define stress as an internal part of your work or home. Things are always crazy around. कि अपने घर में तो पागलपन चलता ही रहता है. There are people coming and going. There's always stress of one type or the other. So that sort of statement you're telling yourself, or are you blaming your stress on other people? I have a tough boss, or my wife is crazy, or my husband doesn't listen, or my children are whatever. So if we are doing any of this, the first one and the second one clearly show denial of taking stress as something serious, taking our mental health as something important. So there's denial that there's no problem, normal stress hai, ye to hota rehta hai, And the last one talks about blaming others. So either way, if we are doing any of these 3, what we are doing, we are avoiding taking responsibility. And unless we take responsibility, we are not going to do anything about it. So please be mindful. What story do you tell yourself when we are feeling stressed out. Next, please. So this is a present state in our country, and you can look at the data, and as researchers, as professors, I know how relevant this would, this data would mean to you. 1 in 5 adults globally have mental health concerns. 2% of Indian national health budget, okay, this says globally, but India mein shayad aur bhi kam hoga. So 2% of the budget is on mental health, and ₹4, India ka abhi samne data hai, ₹4 per capita government expenditure is on mental health. And the saddest part is that India is the suicide capital. We know only about Sushant and few others because they were celebrities or probably news media wanted to cash in on that. But the rest is not there, not reported. It's happening rampantly. And even during Corona, I personally know a number of people whom we have lost to suicide, leave aside Corona. Next, please. So in this difficult time, let us just try to understand that how important it is for each one of us to be mindful and take care of our own mental health. So mental health is all about balancing, as you saw in this cartoon. Next, please. So this is an important slide, and although you would have heard, because there are a lot of articles and media coverage, thankfully, on mental health, nonetheless, let us look at it closely. What is happening in our life? Basically, stress is our response. Yeah. So somebody said it's alarming. Yes, absolutely alarming. And being the suicide capital is even more alarming because we don't even know by the time this session started how many suicides in our country have already happened. So it's really alarming. So the cognitive triangle says that, before that I'm saying that stress is basically, what is stress? It is our response to a situation. So there is something that happened outside. For instance, my boss was rude to me or yelled or criticized, something, or my maid didn't turn up for work, or my child answered back, or there's a presentation that I was preparing and I'm given one more task to do, which requires a lot of time, and there is very short period or an immediate deadline. Situation can be anything. But what do I tell myself on that situation, right? What message, what story, what self-talk is happening will determine how I feel about it. For example, if just now, heavens forbid, bad thought, but just in case there's a technical glitch and I'm not able to continue for a short while. Now, I am the type of person who would quickly, get nervous and probably yell for my daughter who's youth and more technically advanced to come and help me. Another person can say, okay, like I was seeing in the previous session, Dr. Jain was very calmly managing all those technical hits. So the story he's telling himself, okay, there's a technical problem. Let us see what can be done. And the story Rima would tell herself would be, oh my God, ye kya ho gaya? Already there's little time. Then we have one more speaker to go. We are already running, the story. So whatever any of us tell ourselves when there's a situation is exactly what we'll feel. And whatever we are feeling, accordingly would be our behavior. So it's not that our behavior comes from something. It's not that I'm a bad person or a good person if I react this way or that way. It's largely how I think about a change in environment, a situation that has come across my life that I have to take care of. That is why the most important thing is our thoughts. What story I'm telling myself. Next, please. Right. So when we are dealing with stressful situations, we have two options. Either we change the situation or we change our response. So these are 4 A's. I don't know what happened. I can't see the source here, but I hope you can. So this is the source where I took these 4 A's from. So either we avoid the stressor. For instance, some of us have a difficulty in saying no to people. So when we don't say no, then what happens? We are adding on to our own stress. If we are the people pleaser types, if we are the nervous types, if we are like what would others say types, then it's difficult for us to say no. So avoiding the stressor would be at the right time when you don't have that capacity, ability, or time to do a thing. We are able to say no to a task. So avoiding the stressor is one option. Then avoiding toxic people. Some of us know that talking to this person makes me, irritable or nervous, or suddenly my mood goes down. So it's a good idea to avoid that particular stressors, and also review your to-do list so that you're able to manage better time and do. And that is also required, managing time in order to alter the stressor. So if a lot of work is there, we need to plan, we need to go according to schedule, and we can alter the situation. Being assertive also refers to altering the stressor and expressing your feelings. When we communicate properly, effectively, we are able to alter the stressor. So these are some of the things. Then how can we change the reaction? There are situations where we just need to reframe our perspective. For example, I'm at the traffic light or stuck in a traffic jam. What can I do? Probably instead of fretting, getting upset because I'm running late or there's some important meeting, I can't help it. So how do I adapt? I simply switch on to music, some meditation, something to relax myself out, or talk to the person. So how I manipulate the situation is adaptation. And also another thing to remember in adaptation is stop being perfectionist. People who are perfectionists do suffer a lot, actually, because they are unhappy at even slight disturbances. So adapting by avoiding being a perfectionist, and as Monica ma'am said, that we focus on the positive, that is another way of adaptation. Accepting the stressor. There's so many situations we can't do anything about it, so we better accept it. Like there's this statement that if something doesn't kill us, then it makes us stronger. So what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. It all talks about how there is new learning, new personal growth during a difficult time, which we cannot change. And one more thing in accepting is, I have just started during COVID my own YouTube channel, where I also talked about therapy and myths related to it. Friends, please remember, and I know most of you are learned people, already believe in psychotherapy, but those who don't and those who feel that it is only for weak, it is not for strong and sensible and wise people, please have a relook. Crazy, insane, do not go for therapy. They don't even know where to go to. So let us recognize our challenges and take the right action. Thank you. Next, please. Okay, so this is the basic, and of course I won't spend much time. Taking care, managing our stress requires being mindful and aware about how I'm taking care of my body, mind, and soul. I've just added soul because that's what I think has been very, very helpful to many of us. Next, please. So body is easy. Next slide. And all of us know that exercise, hygiene, diet, and sleep. Sleep is something I would really like to focus on, because many people, I don't know how many amongst the participants, but many people, youth especially, and even anyone else who's working from home is finding that very disturbing during Corona and pandemic time. So this, I would say that if you are having that problem, one easiest way to manage, of course, I can take a 1 hour session on sleep hygiene and sleep management, but one easy way of managing your cycle is just for next 1 week or 15 days, fix a time of waking up. So whatever time you're waking up, say you sleep by 2 a.m. or 1 a.m. and you're waking up at 8 or 9 or 10, whatever time, try to at least move a little earlier. So if you fix up, and next week 1 hour more, earlier than the previous week. So that way, if you are waking up early at a stable time every day, your body cycle, your body clock would automatically in a week or two take you to the right time to sleep. Try it out and please feel free to connect to me if it doesn't work. Next, please. So mental care, the usual things that we know already. Ma'am, please let's have the complete slide so that everyone can read. So those are simple things. Having a schedule, all of us know. We work, and without a schedule, certainly we can't get things done, which is important. And to the extent that I've seen people who are working from home, as most of us are, some of us don't even recognize that if my class or my work or my meeting is starting at 9, they tell me they wake up around 8:45 and just log in or just be there. Although fortunately as professors we can't do that because we need to be present and the camera on. But if we continue with our previous routine of waking up in time, taking a bath, getting dressed up, and then having breakfast and starting our day, that would go a long way in managing our balance. Monitor media is so important. Remember, we were talking about avoid part. So all that we are watching, especially news. I mean, I don't have television at my home since past 5 years, and I have no complaints, no regrets. So avoiding news, avoiding media, and having a specific time. If I'm very keen on knowing aaj corona ka score kya hai, I think I can fix one time in the evening to catch up with the present status, but I don't have to repeatedly refer back to the news or social media. Stay connected is very important. Ma'am has already spoken about it, but believe me, all the people you like to talk to, all the people in family, distant relations, friends, children, of course, who if they are not living with you, and those who are living with you, please find ways to stay connected. It is so important. Our mental balance comes from social connection. We are social beings. So please take it as one of your self-care measures. Be kind to yourself. If you've made any mistake, don't just be self-critical. Stop ever. If some of you have this habit of criticizing yourself, please stop it today. Just take one message from me. I'm not going to criticize myself from today onwards. Even that would be worth it. Okay? Making mistake is one thing. Taking feedback and improving is other thing. But criticizing self, it doesn't serve any good. So try to do something you enjoy. Yes, of course, because with constant eyes on gadgets, it's really hard. It is important in today's time that we find at least half an hour, if not 1 hour, every day for some self-care thing. Even if it's a walk outside, music of my choice, doing a pedicure, massaging my body, going for a pay, whatever suits you. Music or anything else is your choice. So breathing, of course, clear air, going under the sky once a day is essential wherever you are. And of course, alcohol and substances, these things do worsen the situation and need to be taken care. And if you're already taking treatment, luckily lockdown is over now, but even during lockdown or whatever reason, continue with your treatment. Next, please. Thank you, Sridevi ji, for calling it informative. I hope we are able to take some points. Soul care. It's really sounds like, some pravachan, but I think it's connected. Mind and soul and connecting spiritually is so important. So forgiving someone, it's easier said than done. Most of you would be feeling if you're angry with someone, but believe me, if you're able to let go, it's going to help you and not the other person. So as a practicing psychologist, most of my therapy work goes in letting go of hurt, pain, and processing. Of course, letting go comes later, processing it comes earlier, and accepting what my part is, what I can change is the most important thing. Then doing good deeds. I don't know how many of you, probably most of you believe in charity and have been doing something or the other, especially when this economic crisis time, we have seen so many daily wagers and others not even being able to, getting their 2 square meals. All of us are doing that, but believe me, whatever I did little, it was so satisfying. It felt so good inside. Like for instance, no, I won't go into the example what I did, but whatever I could do for animals, for stray dogs, or for rickshaw pullers, or for anyone who I see around me, that I feel it would be helpful to do something. Believe me, it's very, very satisfying. So when we do that's a different level. That's what gives us purpose of life. And there are tremendous plethora of researches to show that when we have that goal, when we have that generosity, when we have this sense of altruism to give back to community, it has immense effect on our feelings. So gratitude in itself, I have another slide, so I'll talk about it then, and living fully in the present. So even this little exercise that we did of focusing on our breath, which we just take for granted, that helped us from one number to the other, right? So when whatever we are doing, if we are present in the moment, believe me, it has a different effect. And that's what mindfulness is all about. That's what we need to pay attention to, and probably talk to our students also wherever possible. Connect with nature. I think Winnie is going to talk about it in detail, so I let go. Next, please. Helping someone, yes, and asking. All right. Now, mindfulness is something we were talking about. So basic human ability to be fully present is mindfulness. One of the simple mindfulness exercise is that the apple one, if you have heard of it, that if you're eating an apple, you have to pay complete 100% attention to the apple, holding it in your hand, looking at the surface, seeing the design, the pattern, the color, the shade, the texture of the body of the apple outside, then paying attention to the knife and cutting it into 2 pieces. Again, looking at the smell, the aroma, the shape, color, size, seed, etc. And going on. I mean, I'm just rushing up with that mindfulness. I mean, doing just the opposite of what it's supposed to be. But it's a complete exercise, and I think you can easily find it on YouTube, the mindfully eating an apple or doing any activity. So even that activity, as simple as holding a glass of water, then paying attention to the water, the molecules in the water, and then sipping it, feeling the crack of glass on my lips, then the taste of water in my mouth, etc. So that's mindfulness, being 100% present in whatever activity we are doing, not overly reactive or overwhelmed by it. So if we are present in the moment, chances are we would be less overwhelmed. कब आता है हमको गुस्सा? When do we get agitated or irritated? When we relate it to our past experience. In itself, by now, at this moment, my clock says 12:45. No, 1:15. So at this moment, on this particular date, there's no stress that I feel. But the moment I think of past or future, anything to be done, anything that happened, there comes stress. So mindfulness is innate, can be cultivated through proven techniques. For example, the one I was telling, and of course, breathing exercise that we just tried. And this mountain meditation is, as I told you, my own channel. I did that. Try it if you get time. And of course, this has been, most of the people who used it gave me very positive feedback. It's for, I think, 15 to 17 minutes. You can try that out. Before that, let's just take a as short as possible, because we don't have much time. One more relaxing exercise quickly before I move to mental health ally. And again, straighten up your back, your neck, and relax your body. Focus on your breath. Let your hands comfortably lie in your lap and pay attention to the breath. Inhale, exhale. As you inhale, feel all serenity, calmness, and peace in the universe enters each cell of your body and relaxes you. As you exhale, all stress and toxins move out of your body. Focus on your toes and let go of all stress from your toes. Relax your heels, base of your foot and top of your foot. Feel both your feet relaxed and comfortable. Let go of stress from your ankles and calves. Relax your knees and thighs. Breathe in positivity and energy into your pelvic area and relax all tension around your pelvis, hips, lower back. Let go of stress from your middle and upper back. Relax your abdomen and chest muscles. Release all tension from your shoulders, your neck, your mouth, your cheeks, your eyes and forehead. Relax the back of your neck muscles and your entire head. Release your scalp and feel it relaxing. Relax your ears and feel an ease and calm and comfort in your body. Take a deep breath and feel one with universe and smile because you're alive and capable. Gently open your eyes at the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. I don't know how many of you were with me, but this was a very simple body scan and very quickly done, because considering time, any of you who was with me can write your feedback. I'll be thankful. Next part, I'll quickly go because we are running. Okay, count of your blessings. I would request you to keep this quotation in mind. What if you woke up tomorrow with only what you were grateful for today? Just think of endless things that you need to thank for today, if this is the condition. So thanks. If you're feeling sleepy, then it means you did feel relaxed. Thanks for that. And next, please. Okay, so if you are feeling any change in your sleep or appetite, if there are some scary dreams, nightmares, upsetting thoughts or fatigue, if your body aches or there are constant stomach upset things, if there is irritability or temper outburst, anxiety, increased use of tobacco or alcohol, or anything else which is consistent, say for 10 days, 15 days, and this, in spite of no physical disorder, this is what you're suffering, please take professional help. It's really important that we recognize it's happening, and denial is not going to help. It's just going to worsen. Thank you. Next, please. Okay, so now as professionals, as the faculty, I think it's so important that I take this opportunity to talk to you about being aware of things your students might be going, how to recognize which student of mine is probably going through stress and may have a mental health concern. Kindly watch out for these academic signs. If you know your students and they have, declining grades, there is a repeated request for extensions or incomplete work, etc., or there are disruptive classroom behavior, it's so easy for us to penalize someone. It's so easy for us to punish because we do have practices, we do have policies in our institutions. However, what happened, what led to that is something we never focus on. So I would suggest even those people who are breaking rules, who are defying not only the strict punishment which is according to your rule, whether it's suspension, whether it's anything else for that student, kindly add 6 sessions, 12 sessions, depending on the the bigger mistake they do or bigger defiance that they have, or whatever wrong they have done. Add that as compulsory part, even if it sounds like a part of punishment. But those 6 sessions of understanding oneself would be great help. I worked in Canada for a couple of years, and I've seen that people who go through accidents or juveniles who do some mistake, they all have compulsory 10, 12, 16 sessions which a psychologist analyzes that they need for counseling, for psychotherapy. So please watch out. This is all related to our mental health when a student is behaving in any of these ways academically. So next, please. So besides academic signs, there can be physical and emotional signs. So whether they are falling asleep in class, you can sense fatigue, or they inform you that they're not feeling well. There are symptoms of being easily distracted. There's a tendency to daydream. You see students in class who are nervous or easily get tearful. There is change in their behavior, change in their regular habits and activities. There is change in their physical, weight, or any of these that you can read in the slide. All these are signs, very, very significant signs of possibility of a mental health concern. Erratic behavior, and the most important that we need to be mindful of, that one way or the other they are talking about suicide, harming to self, or harming others. These are really danger warning signs that we need to be aware of. Next, please. I really hope that most of you are listening to me, because it is so significant that when we are dealing with students, we are aware about it so that we can do something and prevent major crisis in the lives of our students. Classroom space and mental health, balancing your role is so important, because you're dealing with youth. They do look like, or they are age-wise adults, but they're going through so many struggles and not aware whom and how to talk to. Recognizing student with challenges is so important if you're mindful of the signs I just mentioned. Then fostering an inclusive classroom, which is also a law in our country, is important. Being aware of the distress that your assignments may cause, being a little mindful. I don't know if the head of the department probably has a system in your institution that the teachers or the faculty decides who's giving how many assignments and how much are you supposed to give, because a student has to take in from all the faculty. So a little bit of being aware how hard it can be, what is the deadline given, the time span, etc., can save the child, the student, the youth from getting into a crisis mode. Next, please. So I would request all of you to be, join hands and be a mental health ally, because your mindfulness about your students and their mental health needs would do a lot, would go a long way in preventing major crisis. So important is that we don't say that we used to do like this. Our professors were so strict. We managed that stress. Yes, those were difficult times, different times, and yes, mental health crisis and incidents, mental illness incidents are on the rise, and we need to be aware of those negative stereotypes. I hope all of you have seen this movie. Those haven't, please watch it. And I hope none of you can identify with this professor who had very different stereotypes and beliefs about how a student should be, what is allowed and what is not allowed. So let us unlearn those negative stereotypes, be gentle and allow them to open up to you. Gentle doesn't mean you have to go sort of bow and be humble all the time. You can be, talk in a matter of fact way, but wherever you see any of those signs, it is worth it to take an extra step and have a conversation. So how can I help you? And any reminders on check-ins? And if possible, like for in SNU, we have a number of South Indian students, and I've seen some of the faculty belong to South India. So they're able to have that one-to-one conversation in the native language. That in itself is so refreshing. I can go on giving examples, but I'm just rushing. Next, please. Okay, so what do we do if we see any of those warning signs? We'll choose a place. First, we like inform the student that I would like to have a conversation with you. Let's choose a place. If we are on campus, otherwise online, we can fix up a time. That when is the right time? I want to talk to you one-on-one about something. And that time can be honest and tell the student that this is what I observed. I just wanted to know, is everything okay with you? Can I help you in any way? Can I listen to you? And if you trust, I can assure you of keeping things to myself, unless it's important to tell your family or others. And I'm willing to listen. Then convey your willingness to help. And rather than judging or interpreting in my own way, it is important that judging their denial that no, I am absolutely fine, I don't need any help. Don't take it negatively. Understand that it is hard probably, and if you continue to see those signs, probably you can try again after some time. Provide the information about the counseling center in your institution, about the right people, how to connect, wherever you're working, and that will be a great help, because for many it's not easy. Keep communication open and be mindful that the student, I can't see that. Okay, so may view referral as rejection. So that's what we really need to see. Okay. Please feel free to have any questions or comments, so that if I'm not clear, I can clarify. Next, please. So what options do we have as faculty? If we see these signs present in our students, we can be an excellent mental health ally by just two things. Either we refer to the right person, we don't take the role of counselor, we can take the role of a concerned adult, concerned faculty, yes, but not the counselor, because mental health is not as straight as it looks sometimes. So you need only to listen, care, and offer resources about the referral. So, and then report. And whatever your counseling center, this has happened to us in SNU, where faculty have seen student in a different situation, and they've contacted us and told us to please connect to this student. He or she clearly needs help. This has happened, and believe me, it has worked really very well for the student. So you may not be able to control every situation, but you can control your attitude, and that's how you'll deal it in a better way. Next, please. Right. So I would just end with this little quote: stop trying to calm the storm, and if we calm ourselves and deal accordingly, things would be fine. So thank you so much for patiently listening, and it's over to Vinny now to take over. Thank you.
Vinny, we can't hear you. We can't hear you.
Sorry. Okay. Yes. Can you hear me now?
Ha.
Yes. So thank you, Dr. Rima and Monica, for this enlightening session on so many tips and to let us know what are our stress levels by, counting the number of points that you gave. Now moving on what I'm going to present today is basically a connect between nature and us as humans. But before I start, I would want you all to just stretch your arms as wide as possible, everyone, and put your cameras on because it'll be amazing to see whom I'm talking to. Also, when you stretch your arms, I want you to look out. Look out if you have a beautiful tree around you or nature around you or maybe a garden. It's always nice to have your table next to a place where you can just, so I have this view.
All of you, please put on your camera if you can.
Yes, it'll be nice to see. Let me see whom I'm talking to and how we can connect better. So our president at Shiv University, Colonel Gopal Karunakaran, whom you all met the first day, also asked you to put the cameras on. That's the number one rule we have in SNU. If we have a meeting with him, we all dress well, we put our makeups, we look good because it gives us a go-getting factor. So it'll be nice to have you all put on your cameras. And can we go to the next slide? I'm Vinny Mathur. I work as Associate Dean at Shiv University, and I also head student life and engagement. I organize workshops and seminars for students and faculty and staff from time to time. So this is our green campus. So SNU has an inbuilt, beautiful 286-acre campus, which gives us time as staff and faculty and students to walk around, to look around, and spending time in nature has therapeutic and healing effects, which most of my colleagues from SNU who are attending the webinar would understand and know. Walking around the central vista, we have a beautiful lake, we have beautiful bougainvilleas, amalthas trees, and all the varieties that you could ever think of in this beautiful sprawling campus. We also have a botanical garden and a biodiversity park in-house, and it looks amazing to just walk through and see the different spices grown out there. Can we go on to the next slide, please? Yeah. For many people who are suffering from physical or emotional ailments, like Dr. Rima mentioned, the best medicine is not in a bottle of a medication. It actually comes from nature. So if you have a beautiful spot, or if you could just look around, Google and glimpse through images of mountains or oceans or beaches, because I know we are not allowed and due to the pandemic to even go around, but it's just so therapeutic to see pictures of greenery or nature around us, and that is what is the most healing aspect. Next slide. Yeah. So today what I'm talking about is ecotherapy. This is a method of restoring optimal health and well-being through routine exposure to an experience in the natural world. So according to me, an ecotherapist is a person who actually uses nature to heal ailments. There are two ways to connect with nature. One, how nature can help you, and second, how you can help the nature back. So the first part of my presentation would deal with walking around nature, biking, hiking, cycling. All of that is how nature can help us, how we can be out, how the mental health treatments can be done so beautifully blended with nature once we're out in the greens, when we're out in the garden, or when we're out at the parks. Just a simple walk in the evening, 20-minute walk. Dr. Rima and I do it practically every day, and sometimes we even happen to be on a call while we're talking and walking. It's just so therapeutic. So try doing that. And the next slide, please. This is a great way to cure depression. We're all going through anxiety, knowingly or unknowingly. We are hit by a little bit of depression in our lives. We're working through actually challenges, online teaching, online studying, our children online, our parents online. Everybody in the house is connected to one gadget or the other. So how about actually spending time in nature, actually thinking how we can go out, sit around, maybe just carry your own mat, carry your own snack, take your mommy, daddy, your children, your parents, your spouses out, sanitize the place well, sit out, just explore nature, breathe in, breathe out, the exercises which Dr. Rima did on a Sunday morning. I'm sure it will do wonders to everybody. Next slide. And yes, activities to beat stress. This is actually a picture of our Dean Student Affairs, Major General Jai Shankar, cycling along with the other faculty members and staff members on a Sunday morning around the campus and a little bit outside the campus as well, when things are safer and better. And it basically promotes physical fitness and people who actually engage in physical activities like yoga or gardening or biking or walking or cycling have a lower risk of heart diseases, a lower BMI, and higher metabolism. Sometimes just involving yourself, going outdoors, sitting around, walking with your own spouse, it's such a great bonding exercise, which I've realized now we all had paucity of time because we were deep down into work. But I and my husband, we take our time to walk in the evening or maybe early morning on a Sunday, Saturday morning, just explore nature. We take our children who started doing nature photography. I recently did a Coursera course on photography, and I mean, I've done 25 courses from Coursera since the university offered it free to faculty, staff, and members. I actually thought, okay, let me do 2 or 3, maximum 2 or 3 I'm able to do, but I did 25, and I did workshops on courses on mindfulness, on Buddhism, on nature photography, on mental well-being, on business communication, and just so much. I actually went back to my college days and I thought, it's such a great way to reconnect to whatever time was lost and how we can, go ahead in the pandemic. So, a friendly advice to all of you is that there are numerous programs aimed at building healthy relationship with nature. Please take your yoga mats out to the greens if you can. Practice yoga there. Indulge in organic farming. Start recycling. Bird watching. Have to do nothing. Just walk up to your balcony for 5 minutes. Just look out and count the number of birds and the species of birds. Google them. You would see sparrows, pigeons, eagles. You would be surprised to see that I would go to the next slide and talk about it later. But in SNU at Shivnari University, we have about 141 species of birds spotted, recorded, counted by bird experts. It's beautiful. And this picture which I'm going to show you right here is basically recycling a Pepsi Pearl PET bottle into a plant. So while I was talking about taking from the nature, this is time to give back to the nature. And believe me, this one is more therapeutic in nature because you just feel, because you're doing things, it's so much more relaxing and soothing. I've been growing my own microgreens from mustard, chana dal, moong dal, black chanas. These are lovely plants which grow in 15 days and you can use them as salads. So please do try doing that. And by the time you end the FDP in 2-3 days, you will see little sprouts coming out. And try composting. Please segregate waste. This is something which I'm going to tell you right now as an eco brick, which I've been making with my children in the pandemic. We made about 200 of these. These are Pepsi bottles, and what do they have? They have all scrap in it. So my children, when they eat biscuits or chocolates or cookies or Maggie or Crack Jack biscuits, all the wrappers are here in. So we use the Pepsi bottle or the juice bottle, we clean it, we stuff all the wrappers here, and we make these eco bricks. And once these eco bricks are done, we've also made a lovely stool, a side stool, combining 10 bottles together, covering it up with a plate on top and a plate on down, a broken tray or a plate, and it made a beautiful stool. And they made one for their nanny's bedside, and nanny keeps her phone on charging over there. So these are amazing activities that you can do with your family, with your cousins, with your children, with your friends, and this is giving back to the nature. The next thing that I've been doing is composting with my mother. We've been doing so much. We've been reusing tea leaves. So आप सब चाय पीते हैं, दिन में 3-4 बारी पीते हैं. How about drying the leaves and then using that as manure for your plants? Eggshells, crush them and put them in your plants. They're vitamin for your plants. We've made sanitizers at home. We made lemon pickles at home. We've reused lemon peels. We've made disinfectants at home. So I think I can just start my own startup after the pandemic gets over. Because so much of recycling has already happened. And more than that, I'm going to show you, this is my Mitti Cool bottle. We've stopped using plastic bottles for water. This is petri cool bottle procured from a from an artisan, and it's actually promoting his business as well as going healthy. Now, anyways, it's winter time. You don't need chilled water, but this actually chills water as well. So our house has become so eco-friendly in the pandemic that we've realized that there was so much that we could have done earlier, and it's time to wake up to reality. And these activities calm us, soothe us, and we think we're giving it back to the environment. This is a picture of organic diyas made at home. So if you see my students, my children, and my mother, they're all in the same frame. We actually collected temple flowers. जो मंदिरों में हम फूल चढ़ाते हैं, this is the last year's picture, of course. उन फूलों को हमने collect करा, उनमें हमने चमेली का तेल, हमने camphor, and we put disinfectants like neem leaves, and we made the premix for about 2 months. We let it dry. Then we made molds and we made these diyas. Then these diyas were actually sold on SNU campus at a Diwali Mela to generate income for the, to help the poor and the needy. And we bought them gifts, the, people from Chithera village, and we gifted it back to them, the society. So we did recycling. We did organic diyas. We did not buy the fancy diyas at Kriti Creations or Archie's or wherever. We tried to make our own, and the feeling, and we gifted to our friends and relatives, the feeling of making these molds, अपने हाथों से कुछ बनाने का वो मजा ही अलग है. So I suggest if you all have time, indulge with your family in this Diwali and make something more creative. Bird watching and bird counting at SNU, as I mentioned, 51 species were only in less than half of the campus that I personally did with my students. So we had a bird watching, a program in the month of March where we all took our cameras, our binoculars, we dressed up like birding experts, and we walked around the campus. So if you could also walk around your society or your area and find out facts, maintain a diary where you could write notes about, birding facts. And about talking about nests on our campus is home to Tailor Bird, which all I'm aware of. A songbird that weaves leaves together to make nests for its young ones. So it's just so beautiful to see and indulge in nature. Go to the next slide, please. Next slide, Monica.
Yeah,
Yes, these are microgreens. So I've been growing my own microgreens, as I told you. Please, 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 humble request to everybody. Grow your microgreens. आप FDP का feedback देना दे. Microgreens का feedback मुझे जरूर mail करिएगा, because I would be more than happy to receive. Microgreens are a good source of vitamin E, C, K, and they're loaded with phytonutrients. So when I make pizza for my children, I put the microgreen leaves on top of it, basil leaves and all. I top them up. My husband and I and my mother, we have healthy salad every evening, grown from our own little farm, now that we call. So do indulge in that. And if you want any recipes for microgreens, I will share that too via mail through Dr. Vinita. Yeah. Next slide, please.
Are we through? I think it's lunchtime also.
Okay. And this is about composting, how we can compost the greens and the browns. Please, people, it's very important to segregate waste. And just a little effort from our side: dry waste, wet waste, paper waste, plastic waste, green waste, brown waste. There's some basics that if we all do, we'll feel better doing it ourselves. We'll feel we're giving it back to the nature, and it is a healing process. Next slide, please. Oh, that's it. Okay, so that's about it. And I want to just show you one or two more things that I've been making. These are cushion covers that I've made out of my husband's old shirt. So this is my huggable cushion. It gives me his warmth as much as, I've recycled his old shirt. His sleeves jal gayi thi, press mein. So then I thought, why waste it into a rug? Let's make a cushion cover. This is another one, a satin one, which has the collar as well. We made this during the pandemic. And again, I've been using these seed pens and seed pencils on campus, where these are recyclable stationery. You don't have this. There is no plastic in it. This pencil is special because it's made out of newspaper. So if you get to know of any NGOs around your houses where you can give your old newspaper, they will give you these things back in return. This is a seed pen, and they all have seeds at the back. These are all growable. Once you finish using the pen or the pencil, you can put this back into the pot, and a beautiful plant will sprout out of it. So everything here is recyclable. This is, of course, cutlery, which is bamboo cutlery. And last but not the least, my eco-friendly diary, which I carry with me everywhere. And my little tote bag that I made out of an old kurti. So you all can indulge in these nature-friendly activities to soothe yourself, to calm yourselves. And I wish you all the best. And thank you, Dr. Vinita, for having us over. I hope everyone enjoyed our session. And if there's any questions, you can always mail us or write to us in the chat box. I know we've gone way ahead of time, but it was wonderful being here. Thank you.